As soon as we start, I can tell right away that this guy knows what he's doing. He's doing a great job prioritizing head position and inside position with his arms. I don't want to grip fight with him, I want to get to the action now. So I see if I can drop down to a dummy sweep by blocking his posts and forcing his weight back. This is what I was trying to do. And in this role, I was successful with it, although I had to finish with a wrestle up. I couldn't get his weight back. As to counter, he quickly positioned his weight forward. So to counter his counter, I try to use that momentum to get underneath him. The issue is, he quickly steps between my legs, which positions my left foot from the inside to the outside. If I were able to keep that foot on the inside, I would have more easily been able to enter leg locks or enter back takes. Now I'm in reverse De La Riva, and notice how his left leg is stepping close to my head. This is a trigger for me to enter X guard, but I can't secure my X guard because Max is staying so heavy on me and not giving me much space to work with. I start losing connection with my feet, but I insert/connect my left foot onto him just in time. That combined with my reverse underhook allows me to hunt for the back. These types of back takes are my bread and butter. My specific objective from here is to now center my chest onto his back, and he's trying to prevent that. It's a race for both of us, a bit of a scramble which I happen to win. As he stands up, I get underneath his chin and start attacking the rear naked choke. And although Max was careful and a good training partner here, this could have been dangerous, as you can get your head spiked on the mat if your training partner isn't careful. But again, Max was mindful and careful. I just want to point it out for situations for you as the viewer might be in the future so that you're aware. I'm wearing my Rolling in Tobago rash guard, and I just want to let everyone know that there's still some spots available. So if you want to train with me in Paradise in May, then go to rollingandtobago.com. We start again standing, and again, I don't overly want to grip fight. So this time I let him take an underhook so I can take an overhook. Max is winning the battle for head position, but I take his head out of position by changing my angle and attacking the Uchimata. It fails, but it does give me the space that I need for the single leg. This is something I learned from my good friend and former D1 wrestler Joe Breeza, ducking underneath the underhook for the high crotch or single, and I love using it. As soon as I land, I drive my weight forward. I get chest to chest, and my head on the mat, and position my butt up high in the air. This is called tripod passing, and nowadays is probably my primary passing method. To complete the pass, all I do is push on his knee and backstep, and I stay in the tripod position, as I know he wants to rotate towards me to recover his guard. One healthy habit that I've implemented into my daily routine is Grüns gummies. Grüns are a convenient, comprehensive formula packed into 8 gummies a day. This isn't a multivitamin or a greens gummy or a probiotic. It's all of those things and some at a fraction of the price. And bonus, it tastes great. 8 gummies are included within each daily snack pack because you can't fit the amount of nutrients that we do in just one gummy. Generic multivitamins only contain around 7 to 9 vitamins. Grüns have 20 plus vitamins and minerals and 60 plus whole food ingredients. My life can be quite demanding. I've really upped my jiu-jitsu training and my strength and conditioning, and I need something that helps me stay on top of my health without slowing down. With Grüns, I'm getting everything that I need in a convenient, vegan, gluten-free, and low-sugar gummy snack pack. I have a pack every morning after my coffee, and it feels like a nice, healthy dessert. Grüns are more bioavailable, meaning the body absorbs them better than in the case of other supplement formats. This is because they're in gummy form, which is more bioavailable than, for example, a tablet. Your body simply uses Grüns nutrients better, meaning you can reach your target nutrient levels more easily. I genuinely love these, and I'm sure that you will too. They actually taste great. I actually love them. Start your new year off right. Get up to 52% off. Just click the link in the description below. My right leg blocks his hip by using it as a wedge, like a doorstop keeping a door open. My left leg is positioned like a kickstand, driving my weight into him. My priority is to simply stay in front of his knees. This keeps me inside of what I call a defensive shell in my jiu-jitsu theory course. When you're in front of the knees, you want to stay in front. That's the objective that's on my mind currently in this position. He's doing a really good job not letting me pin his hips, and I'm trying to decide whether I want to work to pin his hips or let him move so I can counter his movement and take his back. As I'm trying to figure out what I want, he inserts his knee in front of me. I don't want him to frame with it and make space to re-guard, so getting back in front of that knee again is my priority. As the battle for knee positioning continues, he momentarily does get me behind his knee, but that small yet crucial victory is short-lived, as I get back in front of it by pushing it down and stepping into mount. Max is very powerful and has great ability and understanding to not let himself get pinned. He's very hard to control, so instead of trying to pin him down and not let him move, I let him move in hopes that he'll expose his back enough for me to take it, which he eventually does. And to secure his back, I pull him all the way to the other side, so that my top hook becomes my bottom hook. As you see, if I stayed here, there would be nothing stopping him from sliding his hips out and away from my control. By pulling him to the other side, I now have a bottom hook, and now he can't easily slide his hips away from me. I already got one rear naked choke, so I gotta make it more interesting for you, the viewer. So I transition from the back to the truck. The truck is something I consider a lower body only version of the back. I then position my body over top of his arm so I can attack the twister. The objective now is to connect my hands together, which I do. I gently put some pressure on and I get the tap. We start again. And this is a good example of the importance of inside position. I initially have a collar tie, which is a short frame keeping him away, but he swims his arm to the inside, positioning what was my collar tie now on the outside. And now he has a clear path to the single leg. Because there was nothing in the way stopping him from getting there, I take my leg out from between his legs and hook with my foot on the outside of his leg. This makes it harder for him to finish the single leg. And from here, a good option for him would have been to switch to a knee tap. But instead, he works to get my leg back between his legs, and I use that against him by inverting for a knee bar. He does a good job defending by dropping to his left hip. It would have been easier for me to adjust my angle and finish if I were able to position his right hip on the mat. So I transition to the heel hook instead, but Max wisely gets up on top, where it's harder for me to finish. We play footsies for a bit, and this time I get up on top to counter his leg lock. And look again, tripod position. Look how I'm driving my weight into his right thigh. This controls his hips. It stops him from being able to rotate towards me and bring his legs back in front of me. As I try to settle into side control, he starts to rotate his body towards me. I don't necessarily need to stop it from happening. I can also use it to my advantage. I have a looser kind of style, which you may have noticed by watching me roll over the years. If I want it to be more smashy, I prioritize keeping my opponent's back pinned to the mat. But I love countering, so I'll give a little, but I'll take more than I give. Like here, Max takes an underhook, and I use it against him by locking up the Kimura and rolling into the T position. He tries to turn towards me to get up, and I use it against him to take his back. I'm after another rear naked choke, and to make it easier, I pass his right arm to my right leg to trap it. Now to make my job even easier, I want to isolate his remaining arm so he can't use it to defend my choking arm, so I grab a wrist ride with my non-choking arm. Although he frees himself of my grip, it's very tough for him to defend with only one arm, and to make it even harder for him, I switch choking arms, so he doesn't know where the attack is coming from. Switching arms is something I've been doing a lot lately to land more rear naked chokes. Back to the wrestling, I attempt an overtie slide by. This is what I was trying to do. I didn't get it, but I did get a big reaction out of Max. He overcorrects, leaving his arm up high and out of position to defend. So I dive for his legs. Maybe not the prettiest entry, but not the ugliest either. I switch from one leg to both legs to fully get him down. Now guess what I'm gonna do. I tripod again. The objective is simple, keep him pinned, as I work to get in front of his knees. And I pass the same way as earlier, I backstep and stay in the tripod position until I'm ready to fully settle. The rest isn't super interesting, but this is another pretty cool back take. Big thank you to Max for being the first rolling commentary of the year, and thank you to my patrons and all my viewers in general. This year will be my best year of content, I promise. Start your new year off right, get up to 52% off. Just click the link in the description below.